All right. Um, got another story. From my childhood. So this is childhood story time. Um, I think this was before my teen years. So this was like early '90s, I think. Oh gosh, so this is really scary. This is a very scary, eerie story, and it could have went a lot worse than it did. Um, so I was a very curious child. I would not necessarily get in trouble, but just get in situations that um, could be potentially dangerous. Um, I was just like a cat. I was just like super curious about everything and getting into like all kinds of things. So there was a neighbor's house, couple doors down, couple doors down, a couple houses down from my house. I lived in a small suburb, sort of like suburb area, I guess you could call it. It was a very small town. The houses were nicely spaced, like we weren't very close. The houses weren't very close to each other. Um, when I was very young, it was pretty sparsely populated. It, um, this area. It was in Ohio. Um, so anyway, yeah, I don't know exactly how old I was, but maybe like 10 or something. And so I went off to explore, I guess, during the daytime. That's what I did. Um, it's just what I liked to do. I liked to go exploring in different people's yards, I guess, um, including my own. We had a nicely sized yard, but the neighbors didn't. None of the neighbors cared, you know. Mm, Um, they just kind of let kids do whatever in the neighborhood. Um, so so there was a house um, not too far from mine, um, an old house, an old white house, and it had like a garage door um, in the back of it, which was actually never used. The neighbors never used that, so I don't know what the heck was in the garage. I've never seen that garage door opened before. Um, so, but there was another door, kind of like in the middle of the house in the back. And this house was owned by an elderly couple. Um, the 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 woman passed away first. So I don't really remember her much, but I remember the guy. He was really nice. He's a really nice older man. Um, very nice and friendly, you know. Um, and so, you know, I didn't feel any threat or anything at all, you know, when I entered his yard and walked around and just played and explored his yard, you know. It's a pretty interesting yard. There were like some really old sort of like concrete structures, like steps and different things that were pretty interesting in like his yard. But anyways, there was this door that I could basically just like, well, anybody, not just me. I could basically just like kind of just go into there. It was closed, but like, see how I can explain this. It wasn't a locked door. It was like one of those doors where you just like push it real hard. you push it real hard, and that's how it closes. So basically, you kind of just like pull it, and it just opens. Like there's no lock to it, so anybody could like have like kind of like entered his house. That's kind of crazy, but some of the other houses were like that too. Where I found like there were easy ways to get into their house from the back, and um, I found that kind of unnerving. But I guess they didn't have any trouble with people sneaking into their houses. But if somebody knew about that, I mean, that could have potentially been pretty bad. Um, but as a little kid, I found like certain people's houses, like their doors were not unlocked, their doors weren't locked, and different things like that. Like now, I didn't when I found this out, I didn't like actively sneak in people's houses and stuff, and like do anything nefarious or anything. I just found them out by exploring by accident. So I was just curious, what was behind this door, because it looked really dark, and I was assuming, oh, this is probably like his basement, right? Because everybody seemed to have like these creepy old like basements around. So so I just kind of like peered inside. It was very very dark. There were no lights that you could like switch on or anything. Um, I could see like it looked like a huge wide open area. I thought that was kind of strange. It was really dark, and I remember like there being like these really um like dim um like these dim small lights in the distance. Like that's the only lights I could see, but they didn't light up anything, so maybe they were like, I don't know. Like they didn't like light anything up. They were, but I could see them. That was the only light sources that I could see in that entire area. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what these lights even are, right? Um, and so I kind of squeezed my way through. I couldn't get the door open completely, so I kind of like had to like crouch and duck to get into the bottom half of it. And so the door didn't break or anything, but I also couldn't get it open completely. And so looking back, I could have gotten trapped right then and there. I don't even remember how I got back out. I guess I got back out the same way I came in, but like I don't know. But let's see. So I did get in. I was able to get inside, which obviously I shouldn't have done. Looking back, obviously, I was just like I said, I was just really really curious. It was like an innocent curiosity. It wasn't like I wasn't trying to get into any trouble or anything. I just liked to explore. And of course, it's still exploring in the wrong ways, but this is what I did in this particular time. So I don't think I heard anything. I don't know if the older man was home or not. Not sure, but I didn't hear anything, and I couldn't really see anything either. It was mostly dark, other than like there were these dim lit lights in the distance to the left. So I would come in this way, and then you'd have to go to the left. I don't know what was around the other areas because I couldn't see, but I knew I could go left because from the light outside peering in, I could see that you can you could go left, and so there might have been some like little outside windows that gave me some kind of light to where I could see where I was going just a tiny bit. Maybe that was the light source that because there had to have been some kind of light source because I was able to see just a little bit the way to go where I was. So I think it was an outside like through little windows. I think that's what it was. So so I could see but barely. Like there was no light source like inside of the this area. So very quickly I realized that this wasn't going to be just like I couldn't just like walk around normally. I noticed that the floor there were large parts of the floor that were just gone. As if it was just like I don't know if they were holes or just there was no floor. The the instead there were these horizontal wooden platforms that you had to step on. If you didn't step on them and you didn't know and you weren't watching where you were going, I guess you'd fall into the floor. Like I don't know how deep it was because I couldn't see. It was too dark. But I knew I could see enough to see those platforms and that there was no there were large gaps to where there were no floor. There was no floor there. And so good thing I saw that right away. Otherwise, I would have like fallen into the frickin' floor. I don't know. And like I said, I don't know how deep it was. And so there were like these wooden horizontal like 2x4s, I guess, or like maybe a little bit wider than a 2x4 to where you could step on to walk. And so I started walking across. I shouldn't have done this. I started walking just a little bit across it. Oh my gosh. And it was really scary. Like I thought I was gonna fall. Luckily I didn't, but I went a little ways and I kept looking forward. I guess I was like trying to go towards these like dimly lit lights at the end of this area. It was a really wide open area, but I couldn't see anything in there. Like I couldn't see like what exactly was in there. I believe it was it was some kind of a basement, like cement basement of some sort, but it was huge. And so there's this left, pathway with holes in the frickin' ground, and you had to walk on these platforms. So I kept doing that, and there was a lot, and it kept on going and going, and I got to a part where I couldn't get to where I thought maybe the end of the wall was to where the lights were. I couldn't get to them. I think there was just this this gap that was like too like I would have had to have jumped to the next platform, I think, to be able to like keep going. And like I don't think I did that. I think I tried to turn back. And um, so I think that's what I did. I might have been halfway, and then like I don't know what this room even was. Like it was so strange. But I think I just got too scared, and so I turned back the way I came, very very carefully going out, and and then I left the 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 building. So that was pretty scary. And like I said, this is an elderly man that lived there, and I think he was kind of hard of hearing and seeing. So if I would have fallen down in one of those holes, like I doubt he even went down there. Or and I don't even like I said I don't even know what the heck that room was or what even was down there. It didn't look like a laundry room. Like, but I wish I had had like a flashlight or something so that I could see my surroundings better and that I could see like what was in there. It was so strange. It was just the strangest. It was like being in like some kind of a dungeon or something. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. Just this really creepy, huge cellar. I guess old cellar with like I don't know. It was almost like it was a huge trap or something. Like or it could have been a huge trap. Like but it was just this horrible like bridge thing, and there's no way that that old man could have even used that like whatever it was makeshift bridge across his frickin' basement or cellar. There's no way he was doing that. But it was that's so weird. I wonder just what the heck. I wish I could have like I don't know. Like how far would it go down if you fell? Like I wish I could have brought something a light with me cuz I never went back again. I was actually too afraid to go back in there. So I never stepped foot back in there again. That was the only time I did. And I don't think I ever told anybody about it either. I never told anybody about it. I'm surprised I didn't actually tell the guy about his basement. Maybe I was too afraid to tell him that I kind of curiously snuck in there. But yeah, I just kept it to myself, I guess. Never went in there again. It was too scary in there. And so yeah, so that's my weird story about almost like possibly falling to my death in a creepy old cellar with a makeshift bridge. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what the heck. I don't know why there were holes in the basement like that. That is really strange. I don't know if it like caved in or it just didn't make it didn't make any sense, I guess, like why it would be like that, why there would be like a bridge thing and holes in the cellar. It's just it doesn't just it, like I said, didn't make any sense. And and yeah, if a person fell, like I have no idea like how far it would go down. Maybe it just went down a little ways. But, you know, I was young and I don't know, you know, if I could have gotten out. Like, I have no idea. So, yeah, that's my kind of creepy, dark cellar story of possibly almost getting trapped and dying. Um, Crazy story. Just thought I'd, just thought I'd share that. Um, yeah, so like I'm glad I survived that ordeal. glad I turned back when I did, and I'm alive here to tell the tale, I guess. So I got more of these crazy stories when I was young and curious and doing stupid stuff like this, like that, similar to that, that I can tell that I could tell later. Um, Let me know in the comments below. Have you experienced anything like this? Did any crazy um, crazy curious things like this, and have gotten yourself in predicaments like I have, similar to this one? Like, did you ever get sort of trapped in a scary cellar or basement? Oh my gosh! So looking back, it's still kind of scary to me to this day. I'm just glad I was able to get the heck out of there. Um, and I didn't even like with the platforms that the wooden platforms that I was like stepping on. I didn't even think about if they were safe or not to step on. Like I just started stepping on them because I was curious to see like what was down there. But looking back, even that was stupid to do. Like, even though I could walk on them, and then I couldn't go any further though because it looked like the next platform, like somewhere near the middle, was a little too far to just step to. Like I said, I think I had to like jump it. So I didn't do that. I was not that stupid, thankfully. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoy the story, I'll do more. Um, I have more. I have more. Um, so this is just one of them, and I'll be back with more of my videos that I've been regularly doing here soon. True crime, UFOs, mystery stories, missing persons stories, things like that. And thank you for watching.